Beep boop.
Beep boop. Does that mean we're ready?
No, that
I
means
think
we're
we're
live.
ready, Adam. Are you guys ready? This is another episode of the Infernal Brotherhood of the Scruffy Looking Nerf Herders. This is, in fact, our weekly review of Star Wars Resistance Season 2. This is Episode 5, The Engineer.
Dun 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 dun.
Yep, that was the most interesting part of the episode.
I didn't hate this episode.
Yeah,
I didn't
no, it
like
wasn't
it.
bad.
I didn't hate it.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
Yeah. I have complaints because I am me, and so I will complain. But let's talk about a brief rundown before we dive into what we liked, what we didn't like here. It's really set up around the concept that the Colossus is a piece of shit. Mm-hmm. It's called Colossus because it is a colossal piece of shit. It is always breaking down. It's never quite fully worked. And this episode is just another realization of that. Yes. So there's a bunch of electrical issues with the Colossus. And they need to try to work on one thing at a time. And Niku, the most annoying character on the planet of the whole Star Wars galaxy, I would argue.
Yes,
people bitch about Jar Jar. Have they ever met Niku?
Yeah, no, that's pretty much where I'm at this point. Like, you can't talk shit on Jar Jar if you haven't seen Niku, because he's far, far worse.
Whole nother level. Like, if there was an episode with the two of them together, that would be like the powers of the Sith being realized. Okay, so the Colossus is having electrical issues. Niku is doing his best to try to fix it. Throughout the course of trying to fix them, they run across this aberrant signal about someone, calling for help. Kaz, being the ultimate douchebag soldier that he is like, hey, let's go help this random person. And everyone else is just like, well, you must know best because you're Kaz and we're all dumb, so go. So he takes.
It's like there was no fight, there was no argument. Everybody's like, "But this could be a trap." Nah, it's not.
How could it be? We're just being chased by the first fucking order. We're currently stranded. How could anything else go wrong? No, of course not. Why would it? So they go. The only rational people on this goddamn ship are the pirates, and they're the least trusted, even though they've always come through to help.
They have always come through. Yeah, they're assholes, but they're fucking pirates. What do you expect?
Yeah, it's so crazy. Okay, so Sinara is clearly the only rational human being to go with Kaz to go, discover this source of this signal, and it's this young lady, an engineer, Nina, who says that her ship is broken. Coincidentally, so is the Colossus, and Kaz is like, hey, I know nothing about you at all. How about you come aboard and have free reign of our electrical systems?
Yeah.
And Sinara's like, hey, jackass, that's probably not a good idea. I thought you were a soldier. And he's like, oh, come on, she's pretty. And then that was it. Like, there's no other struggle. He just pushed her pistol down, and she was just like, all right, cool. Well, welcome to the family. And then they gave her fucking carte blanche access to the. Okay. So I'm arguing.
It was so to the point of it, like, they set up the beginning of the episode as Niku is the head engineer of the entire ship.
Yeah.
Where the fuck did this come from? One, like, this is news. Because he wasn't even that good of an engineer first episode or first season. It was fucking Cam that was the engineer, like head engineer. I thought
the turtles were the engineers.
Well, yeah, but they're scared, so they're all still in their shells.
And I thought Niku was just a mechanic for the fireball team.
That was my understanding too, but apparently
he got like a
understanding is just out the window.
He just got a huge promotion for no reason.
Yeah, but it's like, so he goes from being head shit the beginning of the episode to, as soon as she shows up, oh no, you're our head engineer, but we trust this lady much more, so you are under her. Do what she says.
Yeah, and because they're the same species, and she doesn't openly mock him. Yeah, they're both Nyctos or whatever.
She's not a Nycto, is she?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't think she was. I mean, she looked slightly like him, but she doesn't have a nose, and he does.
Yeah, they said that there's different versions of the species, but that she's one of them. If I'm wrong, I don't really care that much.
No, it doesn't matter.
Either way, they hit it off immediately. She actually listens to him. No one's ever done that before. And he is asking questions about her. She realizes that there's pirates on board, shares her backstory about being abducted by pirates, being sold to the Huts and finally escaping. So she really hates pirates. But more than that, she's sending these secret, not even really secret, but she's sending these signals to Niku that not everything she's doing here is on the up and up, and she's not really an honest actor. And he is so goddamn oblivious that he's not paying attention to any of it. She's telling him everything without saying anything, and he's not picking up at all. So,
yeah.
They start rerouting power around, and then she claims that the pirates are sucking mad amounts of power out of the Colossus, which is why it's not being able to operate properly. Kaz, because again, stupidest fucking guy in the world, just buys everything she says and goes along with everything because she has an iPad that says it. Never once considering, as Sonara clearly did, that maybe she's the reason the power rerouting is happening, but why second guess a complete stranger when you could, instead trust a confidant? But no, that would be against Kaz's character. So he goes with the Nikto and believes Nina in everything that she does and says, up until the point where it is clear that she has been rerouting the power. Kaz tries to confront Niku about it. Niku doesn't want to believe it, so he doesn't believe it until Nina starts firing at them both. And then they have this huge monologue, which reminds me of like every bad guy revealing every secret.
Oh, yeah, this was absolutely fucking James Bond territory right here.
It was just unbelievable. So she just gives it all up, and Sonara gets one good hit on her before Nina slips off into her starship. But why didn't anyone wait in her ship?
That's what she fucking said she was going to do, too. That's the thing that I don't get. Like, I will forgive the pirate shit. Like, I've already come to terms with the fact that the pirates live in a different dimension where they can just bamf to other spots at the blink of an eye. Okay, so I'm not even going to bring that shit up because that pissed me the fuck off. But she said specifically, I'm going to stay on the ship in case she tries to run.
Yeah. Yeah.
What the fuck?
She doesn't get on the ship at all. She waits around the corner.
She was on the ship when she said that.
Yeah, so they had to get on the ship to hack into her system to find out that she was in fact working with the First Order.
Oh my God.
But then they left.
Yeah, that shit, man. God, I'm going to fucking lose my voice just going insane over that right now.
It didn't make any sense. And the worst part about this is that while I was watching it, I was like, oh, this isn't a terrible episode. I like the idea of a saboteur that is presented as a victim. I think that's a very interesting way of doing it. I didn't actually even mind her trying to turn the Colossus against each other.
Yeah.
I thought that was a great plot point. The problem with this stuff, with this entire show, is that it never goes the next step and actually makes logical causation. It just sets up a premise and then says, hey, in the writer's room, great premise, let's dumb it down for babies, and then go.
Yeah, see, that's, like, honestly, this is one, the whole time I was watching, I was thinking, this could easily be a 2-part episode if they actually drew out a story.
Yeah.
And it would be now, I mean, this is really grasping for straws right here, but this would essentially be this season's Signal from Sector 6, where it's something that actually pulls everybody in, not just the children who are watching it.
Yeah.
Because, of course, ultimately, it's a children's show. That's what they're trying to go for. But at least with last season, they gave us, a couple episodes that were heavy. And I was like, okay, cool. I guess the rest of us can, maybe stomach this.
Yeah.
But then, you get to the end and realize, oh, no, they're just going to wrap it up in a nice little neat bow. Or with a nice little bow.
I just started thinking about a meat bow. Like bacon or something. Like a bow made out of meat.
I mean, that'd be pretty cool too. Could definitely stomach it then.
Yeah, I could totally go for that. No, the episode ends with this really begins the beginning of the end is genuinely high stakes. Like as soon as she leaves with the Colossus in disorder after having revealed the whole plan, so you knew that the First Order was coming, and then the Star Destroyer comes out of hyperspace, and you see the commander just like, what? Oh no! Like, this is a great moment. And then they had this great interaction with the First Order and Nina saying, hey, your credits are in the bank. Thanks so much for what you did. She's like, they're all vulnerable. Go get them. And even though she has personal reservations, her own survival and the way that she's had to live rules the day for her. And I love that in a character.
Absolutely.
And she leaves. And they are fucked. And this is like the greatest setup for this whole show. If they would have stopped there, it would have been the great first part of a two-parter.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't, and they had to wrap it up within 2 minutes, and they did. Undo everything that the previous 20 minutes set up by just having it so easily undone one at a time.
Yeah. Oh, so you're confidant. So next time we see her, we're going to kill her, right? Yep. Okay. Well, that defeated all the consequences of this episode.
Yeah. It's just they had such a great opportunity of leaving with genuine stakes, and then they just renege it all.
Yeah. Well, I almost wonder if by doing that, they're going to have her come back towards the end of the series
definitely
be a character. Well, basically be the Sonara of season 2.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I mean, that's pretty much where I see it. And this is actually about the time where, well, no. Because I guess it would have been about episode 7 or 8 when Sonara became a thing. But whatever.
I feel like we were in our teens before we had a firm grasp of Sonara being a pirate.
I could have. No, it was.
Was it early on?
Never mind. It was Signal from Sector 6, where they went and saved her from the monkey lizards. Right?
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Never mind. So I mean, I guess this is about the time of the season where they do that, but.
But we're seeing these great previews of like Kylo messing with that ISB agent, or whatever the First Order intelligence are called, and Return of the Children from Tehar, going to some weird forest planet or something. So there is stuff that's going to be happening in this season that should be of interest. I would say that this was probably the best episode I think we've seen so far.
Oh yeah,
and that's not saying much.
No, it's definitely not. But it was palatable. I mean, I remember last week our discussion off air. It was as soon as we were over. Fuck, dude, do we even really want to keep doing this shit? Let's just eat our fucking loss and go back to Clone Wars. But yeah, as long as if they can keep it on this level, at least, whatever.
Yeah.
Because this isn't awful. Yes, it's fucking stupid. Yes, it's pointless. It's predictable. But, yeah, I mean, I've watched dumber shit.
Well, I do have to say, I'm getting really I'm becoming to find myself fondly reflecting on the animation style. Like, not just with the ships either. Like, I don't know if it's like Stockholm Syndrome or what, but like the more I watch this, the more I actually kind of dig the animation. I don't know.
See, I dig it just because I play a lot of video games and a lot of cartoony video games where this is sort of the animation style to begin with. So for me, it's like something I'm familiar with.
Yeah.
Anyways.
All right, well, let's dive into what your favorite parts of this.
I didn't.
Fuck,
I don't. I guess if I had to choose, I mean, it's when Sonara finally is like, hey, see, fucking you idiots, look. She was fucking doing something, I told you.
Yeah.
And then the whole, comic book character or cartoon character of Kaz, like being an over-the-top Scooby-Doo character.
Yeah.
Like where he was sneaking up into the pirate's den. Like the mask. I don't get the fucking mask, dude. Like, okay, so I'm going to say that's my favorite part and my least favorite part. It was funny, but it didn't make any sense. Like, why the mask? They know who the fuck you are.
I know.
Like, everybody has the most distinct clothing style there. You see someone's pants, you know who the fuck they are. So a little half mask with your eyes hanging out, that's gonna, completely throw them off scent. Fuck you.
That's pretty stupid. Yeah. I think my favorite part was the briefest of moments when we had the interaction between Nina and the First Order, and it was like mission complete, and she jetted out, and they came in to kill. That little window was like the greatest moment of this entire series for me so far. This entire season, I should say. Because finally, we get a bad guy that did their job, and they were rewarded for their job, and the First Order was coming in to clean up. It was all set up, and it was perfect, and I dug it. It was great.
Yeah.
I didn't even mind after they jumped to hyperspace, the Colossus, and Commander Pyre, Captain Pyre, turns around and he's talking to the ISB agent, and she was just like, execute her next time you see her. I was just like, yeah, that's exactly what they would do. That's great. Like, at least there's some characters that make sense. Like, their decisions, right or wrong, like it or hate it, make sense for the character. It seems like there's no fucking way Kaz would have trusted Nina so quickly. There's no possible way with everything he's gone through already. There's no way anyone on the Colossus would just be like, hey, random lady who just shows up and happens to be an engineer, let's just give you control of our ship. No way that would happen. And so it, like, at least the bad guys are true to their roles. If no one else is. I just don't understand that. The pirates, those are the other ones. They are always true to their roles, which I dig. So
yeah, I definitely like them.
Yeah. All right, worst parts before we hang this thing up.
Oh, like I said, just that part. It was so stupid, so pointless. Like, just why? Yeah. Why are you sneaking around? They're all asleep anyways. You don't need a fucking disguise when they're asleep.
You put Cher next to him, and the mask has a whole different meaning. It could be like The Mask. Do you ever watch that movie?
Duh.
Okay.
Of course I watched it.
I don't know if people get my comments all the time. The Mask was great, and that would have been a good mask.
Yes. Not the Son of Mask, though. No. Don't watch that. If you've never had the displeasure, keep it that way.
All right. Done and done. My least favorite was the auto trust of Nina.
I expect that, though, with Kaz. Like, that's why it didn't bother me in the least, because he just is that guy.
But he's been burned so many times. Why wouldn't he learn like every other human?
Yeah, he should know better. And especially being a fucking soldier. Yeah. Like, there's a certain level of
it's
just you shouldn't just immediately be like, oh, no, we're cool. We're friends.
Even if you thought that, you have so much trust in Sonara. Why don't you listen to this girl that you've been trying to bang?
Yeah, no shit.
Like, at least, for the sake of trying to get in the sack with her, go along with it.
Yeah, I mean, I've done worse for less.
And that's where we're going to end it, people.
I think that is a good place.
We've done worse for less. Let us know what you thought about this episode. Not as bad as last week's, but still not as great as Signal from Sector 6, though I'm not sure we'll ever get to those heights again. Leave a comment below, like and share the video. Hey, that rhymed. And then, of course, if you're digging the Resistance, let us know why. We'd love to hear from you. And until next week, we have a HoloNet news coming up. May the Force be with you.
There is a chair I am quite fond of.
His speech patterns bother me.
Yeah, it's just...
How he talks. Like this, Kaz.
The laughing. I would try to do laughing right now, but probably like puking or something. Yeah.